Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today's art lesson is birds in the snow. And here's some examples from my first grade class of winter birds in the snow. And with this lesson, you can create your bird basically anywhere you'd like. It can be flying in the air, it can be on the ground, or perched up in a tree, like you see this one here. The lesson is using a protractor, and I'm going to show you now, step by step, how to create these real easy birds in the snow. And this lesson is going to take under 30 minutes to complete. We're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to show you first how to create the cardinal that's in our snowy picture today. And the first thing we do is we take a half sheet of paper and a protractor. And I'm going to go ahead and tilt my protractor on a diagonal. And I want to move it almost to the edge of the page, but I want to leave plenty of room for a beak. So I at least leave a pretty good sized finger or a little bit more. See how I've moved this over a little bit more to give me plenty of room for that beak. Now this end will be the tail end, and of course this is going to be my beak. I'm going to slightly point it up toward the top here now, so that it has a diagonal that's pointing toward the corner. And then I'm just going to simply trace it. You can trace this with a marker. You can trace it with any material you'd like. Crayon works well. Pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and trace this. And then I'm going to trace, here's what it looks like. Then I'm going to go ahead and trace the inside of the protractor as well. You can move it up a little bit higher if you'd like, or tilt it to the side. And I'm only going to trace the half of the inside. So I'll start at the number 5 on my protractor. I'm going to come on down and curve around to a little bit past the, I think that's the 80-degree mark here. Yeah, right there. And when I pull it out, this is going to form the wing. And this is the top of the bird's head. And a cardinal has some feathers that stick out up in here. It makes it pointy, so this makes a perfect cardinal bird. So from the top, I'm going to now drop down and draw a circle for the eye and a circle inside. And now I'm going to come out straight and do a straight line, probably as wide as my finger. And then I'm going to bring this down and bring this up in a diagonal line right there. Now for the cardinal tail, you can trace the protractor line if you'd like, straight, or you can do it on a curve. I kind of like it on a curve. I have it coming out from the top here, and I'm going to do a curve here, and then I'm going to flip this over. If I did it like this, it's going to be the same curve, so I want it to be the opposite. So I'm going to flip this back over, trace here. That forms a curve for 2 sides of the tail, and then I want the inside of that tail. Kind of looks like a fishtail right in here. And that's basically my cardinal. Now I'm going to go ahead and color this in. You can color it in with crayons, you can paint it, whatever medium you'd like. When you do crayons though, if you're going to be doing crayons, I'll show you how I did my cardinal here. I made the wing a little bit darker value. But when I color in things, I trace the edges first, and then I do light, even pressure back and forth so that I get a smooth coloring surface. You don't want your coloring to be unevened. You want it to be pretty smooth. You can vary the pressure and make it darker or lighter. For example, if I want the wing here to be darker, I can just press a little bit harder, and I get these nice dark colors. All the white spaces fill in. And then if I want something very light, I can do light pressure. I'd like to trace my edges and then do some light pressure. But you want it to be nice and evened. All the spots are colored in and showing. What you don't want to do, let me show you how not to color. See the cardinal on the back here? You don't want to go like this. This leaves spots, and it's hard to get all the little areas in. It's best to do it up and down. And then I move my hand. Once that area is done, I'm now going to be sliding my hand in a downward motion as I'm coloring back and forth. And that gives a nice even coloring surface. so that when I look at my cardinal, it appears to be nice and smooth and evened. You can even add more detail in here if you want to add some feather detail, or even come back and press hard now with your crayon to make texture right in here. And that just makes your picture a little bit more interesting. Right there. That looks good. Once you have the whole thing colored in, then you want to cut it out like I've done here. You want to come close to your edges right in here. You can see where I missed. So I'm coming back, coming close to my edges. Then I'm going to take a dark construction paper, and I'm going to use some chalk, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in some branches. To draw in the branches, you can use the side of the chalk, or you can use the tip and then color that in. And I'm using just plain white chalk for this. You could do this with crayon if you'd like, or marker. I like the chalk because it gives that that wintry feel. And then you can even draw in, like I showed you on some of my students, they actually made actual snowflakes. So you can do them as just little circles like this. And I made some big fluffy ones coming down. Let me finish the snowflake here. So you can add pattern to this and put a bunch of those in too as well. This is my branches. You can even have some snow dripping if you'd like, or icicles right in here. A few icicles look cool. And then to finish off our cardinal, we just put a little bit of glue on the back. And when I glue, I just do very little bit of glue. Put a little on its tail, rub it in. Small amount is all you need. Place your cardinal, and then I slide the tail. Remember, I had a little bit of glue right there, and I put a little feather. And here's our cardinals in the snow. And once it's all glued down, if you need to adjust it, sometimes you might need a little bit more. Maybe I want some snow here, or maybe make some hills or mountains in the distance. Right in here. Some kids put some snow on the ground, which looks good. There. And create your own little cardinal in the snow. This would be fun too with white paint. So you can make it as simple or as complex as you'd like. Adding details. Now, if you don't want to do it in the snow, you could always put your cardinals, as this student did. They put it on a holiday tree. And they even put a friend, or in a winter pine tree. And they put a friend in there as well. Here's an example of using the inside of the protractor. Protractor makes a smaller cardinal bird, or smaller bird. That's actually like a bluebird in this winter tree picture. So I hope you have fun creating your own cardinal in the snow. This is the first grade Birds in the Snow art lesson, and we use protractors. I just want to show you how everybody came out very different. And I'm going to show you step by step now how my first graders created this one-day project that takes under 30 minutes to complete. You can see how some students added little feet. Some of them made winter trees with branches and snow. This one's a very nice pattern design with winter snowflakes falling.